What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Hey, welcome to FOMC Day. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all in a good place. By the way, we'll break down what's going on in the markets. Technically, we're not in a bad place. We'll talk about all what happened. We'll get into the Jerome Powell FOMC as well, because it was pretty interesting. I think lots of people have misread this FOMC, so we'll talk about it. We'll get into whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. I actually posted in the Discord my thoughts as it was kind of happening live and where we sort of got to. So Bitcoin and the markets were probably quite choppy on the announcements that we got, but we'll get into a little bit as to why and what, where it came out. And again, if you are brand new to the channel as well, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll get into all of that, as we said. But FOMC today, I want to talk a bit about that. Let's talk about where we are going and the big question. Who is going to be the next Federal Reserve? Jerome Powell avoided the question like it was a hot potato, really completely and utterly did not want to answer that question. So we'll get into that and what does that look like post this meeting. Remember, this could be Jerome Powell's last FOMC, so this could be bullish. By the way, lots of people are calling that a pause on interest rates was a bad decision. Let's talk a little bit about that in tonight's live stream as well. So if you're brand new, by the way, hit the like and subscribe button. If you're not brand new, definitely hit the like button as well. We appreciate you guys tuning in, as you have on TikTok as well. So do share the stream out. Let people know we're here. Again, it is good news to be bullish on this channel, partly because I'm being selfish and it's my channel, but partly at the same time, we just try and do things the right way. We try and go into things that maybe other people don't do, just to give you a broader view of what's going on in the market. So look, a little tap here and there is super bullish. All right. Okay, so let me recap the FOMC. I'm here to answer your questions. Ask questions, answer. I'm not answering that. Yeah, there was a lot of that today. All right. Let's get into it then. Let's bring up what was the reaction on the charts. Let me bring you guys over here as well, TikTok, so you can see what is going on. There you go, look. Let me just kind of reposition you guys. There you go. There you go. So here we are on the 12-hour chart here on Bitcoin. Now, we did actually get a pretty nice run today. I think a lot of people expected a breakout. Maybe thought, people was a bit like, maybe we get something different. Maybe we get, a little bit more optimistic news. But I think broadly it was all right. What's important to reference here right now is look at this. This is a nice little uptrend we're starting to print here. From that lows there back on January 25th, at the bottom end of around 86,000, we are now starting to move up trending, which is good, right? Which is kind of good news. Hopefully we'll continue to push from there. Interesting enough, like I said, Bitcoin at 88.9. Look at this. If you go to the 5-minute chart, Bitcoin has been freaking wild right now on this line. So this white line is the upward trend line. This pink line here is where this goes into the channel, which if you remember, we were talking about last night as a potential, retest. But look how crazy these spikes have been. Look how crazy this volatility has been. As I always say, though, look at the W pattern for the Federal Reserve. So I'm expecting us to move a little bit further back to the upside as we see a little bit of volatility here in the markets. What hasn't really performed that well today has been the altcoins. They haven't done that well. But broadly speaking, when you look at it at a macro level, this is still in a nice, consistent uptrend back into this range, though. That's what we've been looking for. And for me, this was kind of a big catalyst to get back in there. So we will see how this plays out well within this kind of channel. And like I said, getting back in there on an upward trend would certainly be good news as well. So yeah, BlackRock's very own Rick Ryder. He's certainly in the lead, but yeah, very interesting as to some of the stuff that happened today. So we'll talk about that. But right now, I think Bitcoin at a point of inflection. I did discuss my views on gold and silver in my update video that I put out earlier on. Gold rocketing, by the way, to 53.80. This is insane right now. You can't tell me this is normal from gold. This parabolic move right now is just absolutely wild. You got silver at 116 as well, which is going crazy with 10% here on silver futures. So like commodities still feel bullish. And even Jerome Powell was asked what his thoughts were and what his view were. He declined to really comment on it. Didn't really go into any sort of detail on it. Right now, in my opinion, it is a really big FOMO trade right now. What's going on, Casey? Really big FOMO trade. And my stance here is not changed. My view is that at some point, gold and silver will correct. People tell me I'm being crazy. People know, no, it's not going to, but you're absolutely full of shit. It is. And I think at that point, that may be where you look for the undervalued asset and the undervalued trade. I talked about it in my video. It was literally titled the biggest catch-up trade we've ever seen. And I think Bitcoin and the crypto market could absolutely be in that place. But in the short term, you are still seeing huge amounts of moves here with gold and silver. More on that in a little bit. All right, so we'll kind of stick here with BTC. Definitely getting some little sell pressure right now, which is, I guess, I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of disappointing where we've been. I thought I thought we would hold up way better than we have, but yeah, so we'll see. I think we could still see this kind of move back up. Why the hell thinks gold and silver won't correct? Well, I mean, some people do. Is this the last speech from Powell? Yes, we believe so. This should be the last one in this one. So I said we probably see 88 to 90 before Friday. Yeah, I mean, we touched 90 today. Just interesting now everything's settled down on the back of the Fed statement, on the back of Jerome's comments. Now the market's kind of pushing down, which, sort of doesn't make sense. We got this nice little wick up here, and then we've sort of seen this push down. But look, volatility is the name of the game when the Federal Reserve speaks. Like we said, what was interesting is kind of what came out of the discussion, particularly when it comes to the Federal Reserve as well. So we'll touch on that in just a minute, by the way. So you've got some really interesting charts playing out as well, just to give you sort of an idea on a macro scale. So you got Ethereum still holding up in this range. Again, look how important the 20-day EMA is. What a surprise. Bouncing potentially off that. Solana at 161. Just slightly declining here. And Solana, we probably need to watch. This could fall off a cliff if we are not careful. But right now, Solana's holding up. 122 would be my low-end support line here that we're looking at for Sol. Still holding up, like we said, is still kind of pretty bullish. But that's what you're looking at. Again, you can see here, look, the pattern that we always talk about on Solana. So we need to see this come back up. My risk would be that if Sol triple bottoms and comes out the other side, that you may see a little bit of a push down on Sol. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on that one. BNB having a nice little rally. They did burn some BNB. I don't know if you guys saw that, but nothing super, super crazy outside of that. The rest of the altcoin market, pretty flat. Jasmine down 1.7. AVAX back below 12 bucks, which is kind of annoying. The Swift coin, if you guys are interested in that. A little bit interesting here on altcoins. I've been watching Hype Coin. This is something that I've been keeping an eye out for. Pretty interesting move on here. The Canton move continues to be pretty bullish as well. Craig, I don't know if you're still in that. 7.3% up on the day. Nice little move there on Canton. The Zcash trade giving people another opportunity to come back in on the 20-day EMA within this pattern as well. So some alts getting kind of wrecked today, but I think that was down to the undervaluing when it comes to BTC, and that's kind of what we saw. Memes getting smashed, don't need to worry about those. Stocks, commodities, all having a pretty decent day. Stocks generally, though, down, as well as treasury bonds and yields down as well. So kind of interesting. All right. That kind of gives you a view as to where the markets are. We'll stick with Bitcoin. We'll keep an eye on it. I do think we probably get, or at least I hope we get, a push into the close tonight. Back above this trend line here, around 89,200. That's what we're looking for. That would be pretty bullish, I think, going into tomorrow as well. When does the new chair come in? March. Now, one of the things I thought would happen, and it may still happen, by the way, right? It may still happen, was if the stock market absolutely tanked on the back of Jerome Powell. So let's say that he went super hawkish, right? Let's say he went super hawkish. Then I thought Trump may come out and announce the new Fed chair, which is between two people, all right? Let's call it as it is. So you have got Rick Ryder, who, again, current CIO of BlackRock, has been advisors to the Federal Reserve, etc. Or you have the potential of Kevin Hassett or Kevin Walsh, which, again, Kevin Walsh looks unlikely right now, but Kevin Hassett maybe. Rick Waller. Christopher Waller came in. I remember Rick Waller. He's some sort of singer. The Christopher Waller actually came in as a dissenter on the recent FOMC, which is kind of interesting. He's never been in that place before, but he joined Stephen Myron, bringing the 25 basis points, or certainly a alleged 25 basis points cut that didn't come in. All right. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting when you come to that. Gold is 5395. Yeah, it's insane. It is literally absolutely skyrocketing. 4%. Like, do you understand how big that is at a market cap level? It's like 2.5, nearly 3 Bitcoin market caps. It's absolutely insane. The commodities market, in my opinion, by the way, is the FOMO trade that people should be avoiding at all costs. But like I said, Simon, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. That's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to do with your money. It's your money. If you want to ape into gold that's up, 50% in the last month, then crack on. I don't necessarily think it's a great idea, but hey, that's my view. All right. So let's get into a little bit of what came out with the Federal Reserve statement, and then let's talk a little bit about what Jerome Powell said in his statement as well, because I think it's probably worthwhile just touching on a little bit. Let's bring some notes up here. Always slightly challenging, though, when I have to put the kids to bed and try and listen to the same thing. So, yeah. 1 second. Right. So here was the official statement that came out. Now, a couple of key things to think about. Macro view of the economy was important, and his view of where two key elements are. Where's the labor market going? And if you notice, where the tariff implications are, because these obviously then affect economic outlook. All right. Andy Smith, what's going on, buddy? Gold and silver ratio 46.2 to 1. It's insane. It's insane. So available indicators suggest the economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace, right? I actually put this in the Discord to say that that's actually a pretty bullish statement here. You know, you've got expanding economy, which we know. I mean, we know that federal, the GDP for the US revised to 4.4, predictions to 4.3. So you're like, okay, essentially the economy is growing in the US. Job gains have remained low, and the unemployment rate has shown some signs of stabilization. That's a pretty big number as well. Now, if you take this the wrong way, then you kind of take the fact that we haven't cut rates as a bit of a negative. If you say, well, the economy and the jobs market is stabilizing, then this is essentially why you don't get rate cuts, which is why it's not surprised. We'll take a look at where that sits then for the potential next 2 or 3 meetings. Inflation remains somewhat elevated. Now, interesting that he brought up on that point, and this is why I think Trump's going to have some sort of statement to say, because when you look at true-flation right now for the US, it is at the lowest level it's been since 2022 at 1.16%. All right, understand that. That's an insane number. Look at this. 1.16% right now on true US CPI inflation. This is down 0.02% and is a continuation to the downside that we've been seeing. All right, so you could argue from the US perspective, they're inflationary numbers, albeit not an official, Federal Reserve statement. But yeah, I picked up some defensive ETFs today, given the states of the world war. I mean, it's probably not a bad shout, that, Rob. Probably not a bad shout at all. Meta beats top and bottom line. That doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me one bit. So anyway, trueflation down is interesting, okay? So especially when he's saying this, inflation remains somewhat elevated. It's probably not that true. And it depends what they're looking at as a measure. Remember, he spoke about CPI. Well, if you look at CPI, which we talked about last time, CPI came in okay. Cost was energy. We discussed that on a separate live stream. The committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and unemployment. Okay, we know that, right? We know that, Jezza. Supported the goal, the committee decided to maintain the target rate for the federal funds rate at 3.5 to 3.25. That's fine. We knew that was in. And considering the extent of the timing and additional adjustments to the target range for the federal funds, he said a couple of really important notices here. He said that it's getting towards neutral. Well, neutral should be 2%, but remember, we've discussed this on a previous live stream, that maybe 2% is unachievable at the federal fund rate, given the cost of energy, given tariff implications. So the fact here is that what is neutral? Well, the pausing rate is kind of like, okay, let's see where we get to. Let's kind of just play this out. In assessing the appropriate stance of monetary policy, the committee will continue to monitor the implications of incoming information and economic data. We will do the bingo card, by the way, just FYI. So hopefully you guys have got your bingo cards ready, because we will go through that in just a minute and cross out any that we did get. All right. So yeah. So the other thing that he came in and said, well, no, where is that one there? He said voting for the monetary policy actions were Jerome Powell. What was interesting here, look. Voting against the action was Stephen Mirren and Christopher J. Waller, who preferred the target range for the federal funds by 0.25%. Stephen Mirren didn't go half. He went 0.25%. That's important. Remember, he's been like, oh, cut it 0.5%. We should be 1.5% lower than they are. Like, dump the federal funds rate. Didn't go that far. And obviously, Christopher Waller did, purely because he wants to become the Federal Reserve Chair, which, we'll see where that plays out. But yeah, interesting that they didn't go for the full cut on there. So obviously you then got a bit of volatility in the market, and then it was a bit around Jerome Powell. What did he say? Well, obviously he reiterated the fact that they kept interest rates low. He also talked about the labor market showing signs of stabilization, which again was important, but he emphasized, get ready for this, data dependent. All right. Again, the Federal Reserve has to be data dependent, as it always is. So he talked about that. He declined to comment on whether he plans to stay in his term at the end. Don't forget, he can come out of the Federal Reserve as the chair. What the heck was that? What the heck was that? What's going on, Vern? That absolutely scared me to death. I thought someone was going to get me then. What the heck was that? He can stay on a governor. Declined to comment on that, right? A 10-2 vote, which is important, with just the 2 dissenters. And markets had pretty much mixed signals. There was a load of waffle. There was a load of debate on tariffs. There was a load of debate on what he would get. What was interesting when they said, what advice would you give to the next Federal Reserve chair, stay bipartisan, don't get involved in politics, etc., 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 right? Pretty interesting as that all sort of walk through, really. But overall, what was the general feel? Well, the general feel was kind of all right. If you take out the fact that he didn't cut rates, it was a pause with the view that maybe they look at it further down the line. So the big question then is, what does that play out for further potential rates in the FOMC? Well, we now have 48 days until the next FOMC. By that point, we'll know who the next Fed chair is. Obviously, there'll be a difference in terms of monetary policy, and there definitely may be a different macro view. The fact is, people are still super bearish on what might come in here on the 18th of March. So, again, this won't be Jerome Powell, I don't believe. But look, again, at the minute, super bearish on that. Also, sub crypto minutes, just back from the Maldives. Tried turning in, but time difference didn't work out. It's all good, mate. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. I may see if we can get cans into 25 to 30 cents and then see it for sand and sand below 30. Yeah, sand took a dump, didn't it? So yeah, I think it was a bit of a nothing burger, but at the same time, the couple of key things that you want to know, which was the economy is relatively stable with elements of growth. Labor market is flat. It's okay. You know, we haven't got anything sort of super crazy in the back of it. And yes, it's a pause, but they will review as it's required. All right, Mouse, what's going on, buddy? So they will review in line with, you know, what they believe is the right monetary policy, etc. All right, all that kind of good stuff, which is, you know, which is okay news. Which is okay news. So that does bring us on to the bingo board. How did we get on, everybody? Well, let's take a look. And that is way too big. Let's see how we got on the bingo board. So, dovish Fed, yes. Didn't talk about the situation in Iran. Did have dissenters. We said that, didn't we? So we said there would be dissenters on it. Easing policy, no. Good evening was not true. It was good afternoon, which is kind of annoying. He had a purple tie on. Did we put? Yes, we put purple tie on. Tariffs was on there. Great news. Great news. Question on his job. Yes, we got that. Reuters was not the first question, which is annoying. Didn't talk about Trump. Didn't talk about the new Fed chair. He didn't cough, actually. He said he was data dependent. QE revisions, no. Labor market was cooling. That wasn't true. Housing market. Did he talk about the housing market? I feel like he did, actually. I feel like the housing market was in there. Greenland, no. Trump dollar control. I'm going to say we get that one because he spoke about the fact of being independent by the Federal Reserve. So we definitely got that. He didn't have a notebook. He had a laptop. He was he late? I don't think he was late. I think he was on time, actually. Didn't talk about China. Yeah, we did a crap job. Oh, I didn't talk about Venezuela. No Venezuela. We'll take that one as well. Oh, man, we were so close. Look at this. Easing policy. Bro, we nearly got it. Okay, I didn't use anything else on there. Man, we were close. We were so close on getting that. So close on getting that. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Nearly. All right. If we'd have kept free in the middle, then we'd have got it right. Didn't talk about clarity hacks. Yeah. So that was, I mean, look, that's not the worst bingo we've ever had. Not far off. Not far off. All right. Yeah, not far off. Like we said, markets reacted reasonably okay. So again, the TradFi market's going absolutely wild. I still think we see this kind of push. 89,100. Bitcoin's probably go green here again as this kind of pushes back up. And I think we do get back. My view is we do get back into this trend. I think look at this respect line here. Look. So I think we do sort of get back into here, basically. So, all right. So that kind of gives us a bit of a view. Missed out on the money again. Exactly. Bingo. No, we missed it. All right. Do you ever research projects? Yes. Yeah, we do it live on the show, like back end of the show. So first half is like what's going on, economics, charts, all the kind of core, what is the play right now in the markets. Second half, whatever you guys want to look at is generally speaking. So yeah, stick around for about another 20, well, less than that, about 15 minutes and we'll take a look at it. Did he have a drink of water and blow his nose? No, I don't think so. Did I have a purple tie? Yes, Beebs. He did have a purple tie and we got that. That was down here. Yeah, we got that. No, innovative. No one expected a rate cut. Markets definitely did not expect a rate cut at all. I don't believe. So, so yeah, good. All right, so that kind of gives us a bit of a summary as to where Jerome Powell was. That is essentially his last one. We'll see then what that looks like for a March meeting. The big question will be who is going to be the next Federal Reserve chair, which has been delayed again, right? Has been delayed again. So originally it was going to be the end of the year. So we were going to get it prior to coming into this new year. We then now got the end of January, and now it's been delayed another couple of weeks. So currently, Rick Ryder is the top pick to become the new Federal Reserve chair. BlackRock CIO, generally good on pumping markets. I believe he's done some stuff with the Fed before. He's never been a member of the Federal Reserve, but I definitely feel he's got some links somewhere. What about Belichick not making the Hall of Fame on his first chance? The guy was only part of the 8 championships. Oh, Belichick, where's he from? I feel like I know this. Is he Kansas City Chiefs? Is that right? Have I got that right? I'm really not a big American football fan. I don't know if that's true, by the way. Anyway. I always said that, didn't we? So, yeah, so Rick Ryder, I think, Rick Ryder would be all right, I think. Christopher Waller didn't move up today, but he dissented on the Federal Reserve FOMC, which is kind of interesting. So, we'll see where that one. New England Patriots. I was close. All right, I was close. I'm not a big American football person, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, good. So that's kind of going to be important as we start to walk through here. Now, this is something I was talking about yesterday, right? And I think this is a super interesting chart. And I didn't get it up in my video last night, but the longest Bitcoin to gold bear market ever was 14 months. So this is where gold outperforms Bitcoin. We're currently, checks notes, 14 months in. Pretty interesting. Is the rotation coming? I just can't get away from the fact I think it's going to happen, by the way. Any news about? You just not put anything else on that. He has made his own blockchain. Who? Oh, in 20 minutes you can search Mike, funny developer is interested in... all right, okay. Let me take a look at that. BTC about to get dropped off there. Well, this is the thing I've been saying, that I just believe that there will be the rotation out of gold, and people go, no, 2-Bit, you are wrong. You are full of rubbish. Everyone should unsubscribe to your channel. But it's hard when you look at some of these metrics. Did we put... what did I put here? Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is the gold to Bitcoin ratio chart. Look at this. So this is essentially telling us what the ratio of gold, so how much gold to 1 Bitcoin, all right? So this currently is telling us that you get 16.55 ounces for each Bitcoin, okay? That's kind of where we are right now on this particular asset. And I think this is kind of interesting because this should tell us then where this ratio sits when we look at Bitcoin. Look at this. So you see a general move at the same time. This is BTC, this is gold. Look how more correlated this move is when you actually compare it to a ratio of gold. Now, what do you see here? You see the price of Bitcoin ticking up, and you see the price of the gold ratio versus Bitcoin come down. What you want to see here is you want to see the two of them inclining. So this would be Bitcoin outperforming gold. When this reverse comes in, this then may give us the kind of indication that we're going to see a bigger move to the upside. So you can see here that we generally see the big move up here in Bitcoin. We then see it follow the price of Bitcoin as well. So at the minute, we are seeing the complete opposite, which tells us that, we're still in this kind of declining view down. But this is going to be an interesting one to keep an eye out for on this chart, because the change, in my opinion, is coming. It just is going to be a matter of time. This is on the monthly candles, by the way, just to give you kind of an idea. So you're back at 2021. Bull market cycle tops here, which is super interesting. Which, if you looked at this ratio, you could say, well, 2-Bit, this was the peak here back in 2021. What happened? We then had the correction against gold versus Bitcoin, where everyone was going into gold, silver, commodities, and the price of Bitcoin was declining. We then hit the bottom, which was the FTX collapse, which is here. And then what do we get? We got Bitcoin consistently outperforming until we got to the top here. So are we about to see this decline once again? Which, again, if you were to say, well, look, the bull market wasn't big enough, so the bear market probably plays out as shallow. Well, the 100-day EMA here right now, which is where we wicked at the bottom of the FTX collapse, is exactly where we've just hit on this ratio. So if gold continues to rally, this will continue to push down. But in my opinion, could see another month or two in this gold pump. It's only going to take something. Something big will happen, I think, in the commodities market. And then that's when we'll see a conversion. When Bitcoin becomes the undervalued asset, that's what you need to kind of look at. It may be a big rate cut decision. It may be the new Fed chair decides we're going to absolutely pump this market like you won't believe. And risk on becomes the new in thing. That's kind of where we're going to get to a little bit, I think, as this sort of plays through. So, worth the sort of thinking about where this chart goes through. But really interesting chart, really interesting in terms of where this plays out. I do believe that this is something people aren't keeping very much attention to, and therefore I believe it's something that should be paid attention to. So, keep your eyes out. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on TikTok or on YouTube, just go down this bottom of the screen, give us a little thumbs up. That would be hugely appreciative. Again, thank you so much for that indeed. Now, also, when you say, well, okay, if the Fed Reserve is going to stay relatively neutral, we've paused interest rates, that's fine. The economy is relatively flat. It's not in decline, and there's no talk, quote Jerome Powell this, we are not in a place where rate hikes are even being discussed. All right, good. Okay, so rate hikes are not going to be an agenda. We'll follow the data. Bitcoin and the crypto market is the underperforming asset. Look at this. Over the last 12 months, silver, gold, copper, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, all double-digit growth. Silver at 267%. You're going to tell me silver's going to double again? I mean, get out of here. What is the market cap of silver, by the way? Anyone know? What is it? Let's take a quick look, by the way. All right, so silver is currently at a $4.76 trillion market cap. You're telling me that's going to go to 9? Nah, bro. Nah. Silver's not going to go to $9 trillion. I mean, gold's even crazy, by the way. $27.37 trillion is absolutely insane. It is now, you know, what, 20 times the market cap of Bitcoin. Again, this is perspective, isn't it? Is Bitcoin the undervalued trade right now? I absolutely believe so. Doesn't mean we're pumping to Valhalla tomorrow. Doesn't mean we're going to go to the freaking moon tomorrow. But the obvious catch-up trade, exactly as I discussed in my video. They go live every single day on YouTube about 11:10, between 11:10 and 11:15. Go and watch them. Subscribe to the channel. Keep your eyes posted. I do then break some of them down in shorts here on TikTok as well, but definitely should watch it. All right. The fact here is that then you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, the market cap of the total crypto market, and altcoins, all nearly double-digit negatives, all right? So again, you have this insane rally going on gold. You have this insane non-rally going on in Bitcoin. It's pretty wild if you think about it. That, in my opinion, is where the catch-up trade goes. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Well, too bits easy. You can say that's the catch-up trade. That's fine. Friggin' Jerome Powell just held rates. He didn't do anything with him. Like, what the heck? Like, but then you start to see kind of some of the things that are coming together, some of the elements that would form, remember what we need, liquidity to drive into the market. Well, what are those? Well, the fact that the White House is now going to be hosting a crypto and banking leaders in to push the break regular deadlock. Okay, the Clarity Act's going to be a big news. All right, great. I think that's going to support the bill that's going to push through, and I think we probably get this through relatively quick. Trump himself, along with a number of big crypto companies, Coinbase, for example, are now going in on Trump's $1,000 stimulus for kids. All right, great. Also, this on the back of the tariff for farmers. We heard that Trump speech last night. This is, again, pretty good news as this kind of plays through. So you could definitely be in a world where stimulus is coming. We're going to see this market push up. That is where you potentially get this rally back up in BTC that I think we've been talking about for a while. As long as we don't invade Iran, do anything weird like that, then, you know, that could be good news as well. But for me, Bitcoin is, or certainly, I mean, it's hard to say the altcoin market is the catch-up trade because I don't necessarily think it is right now. But, you know, certainly the crypto one is probably going to be there. Zach says, crypto is the worst investment I made. I'm down 80%. Yeah, that's not great. Here's my question, Zach, right? What did you buy and when did you buy it? And it's for perspective. I'm not here to tell you not to sell. It's your money, but I'm going to give you some perspective. Hopefully it might help to soothe or what. Anyway, it'd be good to know, by the way. What did you buy and when did you buy it? That'd be good. You were hard to find this evening, guy. Just letting you know. Yeah, it's super. I can tell that because the views are all down. I can absolutely tell that's why it is. It's wild. Sometimes it's absolutely wild. Share the stream out, everybody. Let people know we are here. Do I need to post? I did post it on X actually. But yeah, I don't know if you guys, one of you guys could post in the community tab. That'd be cool. Powell came out like groundhog every month. Yeah, I mean, look, Powell certainly needs to depart ways with us. I think Powell going will spur markets on. We know Trump's going to pump this market. I mean, I don't really think people understand how crazy this market's going to get, just in my opinion, for what you can see and what his ambition is. I think a lot will depend. If they don't vote on the IEEPA tariff, by the way, like he's going to absolutely pump this market. If he gets Rick Ryder in, he's going to pump the market as well. Like we could see one of the most insane 12 months in this market you've ever seen in your entire life. Now, is that factual? Don't know, but it's going to be crazy. I've had it since 93K. Can you go live tomorrow? The traffic is slow due to the ice and crap. Yeah, I probably can, Vern, in fairness. I think so anyway. I think so. Probably worked out in favor of me. I was up and out of the house at 4:30 a.m. this morning. So, yeah, I'm down for doing something tomorrow night. Definitely, yeah. The market's fine. Just watch. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Super cycle. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that shills the super cycle, but I think it's really interesting as to where we're going to go, and more importantly, kind of what's playing out right now. And I do think, like I said, the Bitcoin trade's the catch-up trade, right? The catch-up trade, definitely. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The fact you're going to have someone from BlackRock basically running the Federal Reserve is kind of crazy. When you want to increase your export sales, you want your currency weaker or cheaper, or more intentionally companies buy. Yeah, so I talked about that again last night, and you kind of can, well, I have a thumbnail about it, but yeah, my view was the dollar was weakening yesterday, and that was, again, another key indicator that they want to run this market hot. Now, it kind of balanced out again a little bit today, but yeah, dollar dumping, all right, which is kind of great. If I'm honest, for markets, and particularly the crypto markets, because, you know, things are cheaper. Trump said it himself. We heard it last night, or certainly on my video. You even got a number of other people like coming out as well. So Jack Mellor, the CEO of Stripe, coming in going, you know, this dollar devaluation is going to absolutely send Bitcoin nuclear. Why? Because the price of Bitcoin goes up. So you get this increasing divide. If you hold on to Bitcoin, it will become more valuable. Think of this as well, which I never even missed this. And I feel a bit of a noob for missing this, but I think it's important to reference. As the dollar weakens, the actual dollar value of crypto assets becomes less. So where people might look and go, my value is the value of my Bitcoin is being reduced, or the value of my crypto assets being reduced. No. The dollar is being reduced. Your assets are staying exactly the same. And this is where, and again, this is just my view, by the way, you could then see a FOMO buy-in. For example, you're going to see the price of BTC come down, and people are going to freak out, and you're going to see opportunities in this market where you're going to get the opportunity to buy in at a cheaper price. But if the dollar is debasing, then you're not really, you get even cheaper. And I think people miss that. They just go, oh, you know, Bitcoin's $85,000 now, and it was $90,000. But if the DXYs come down by 3%, then all of a sudden, actually, it's not as cheap as you think it is. Does that make sense? Because then what you get then is Trump will run the markets hot. He's going to stimulate the economy like you've never seen. He's going to ram tariffs down people's necks. He's going to tariff the shit out of everybody around there. The dollar then picks up in value. Not only do you then get an increase in the Bitcoin and the crypto market, you get an increase in the dollar. It's like a double-edged whammy. So it's going to feel painful in the short term. Longer term, if all of this plays out, holy crap, you're going to need to hold on to your assholes because it's going to get wild. Wild, all right? And when you look at some of this, which is why I think so much is going into gold. Think about it, right? We talked about this yesterday. Who just went in big on gold, right? Who just bought loads of gold? Anyone? When I say loads of gold, I mean loads of gold as well. Not the banks, wasn't the Federal Reserve banks, but there was something that bought a ton of gold. Zach, you did, yeah? I don't think you bought this amount, but you certainly did buy some. Come on, who is it? Come on, crypto people. BlackRock. Did they buy gold? No, I don't think they bought gold. I don't think BlackRock bought gold. Come on. Tether. Joe, congrats. Look at this. Tether are buying up to $1 billion of gold per month, right? $1 billion. Yeah, Lucas got it. TJ got it as well. Tether been buying. Jason. TikTok got it. You guys are getting it in the end. So think about this. Tether are buying $1 billion of Bitcoin, $1 billion of gold every single freaking month. Why? Why are they buying so much gold? Why are the banks buying so much gold? Because the dollar's going to collapse. Trump's going to ram it into the ground, and then he's going to pump the living pants off it. Think about it. You've also got BlackRock launching their new ETF for Bitcoin. Why? Why have they launched another Bitcoin ETF when they have the most successful ETF out there that broke every record outside the XRP one? Well, they're going to trade it against options. Oh, brilliant. Wild. And they also launched a friggin' stablecoin. I mean, call me surprised. Tether is buying up to 2 tons of gold weekly and has amassed a 140-ton stockpile worth $24 billion. Think about it. When this market turns and goes parabolic, and I truly think it will do, all right? Might not be this year, might be next year, although I kind of feel like it's going to be this year. Then I think in that world, this is why Tether's got to buy it. Why? They have to back all of their stablecoin assets. They have to back all of their assets they've got with gold. Well, that's why they're buying it now. I mean, it's insane that they're buying it now because of the price of it, but maybe they believe it's going to go up a little bit more. It's kind of wild. So I think this is where you're seeing this potential, move on gold, and equally then why I think it's going to be the biggest catch-up trade that we've seen, in my opinion. And by the way, that could be that we dump Bitcoin to 75,000. Think about what I just said. if you have a dollar coming down, you have Bitcoin selling off, commodities going crazy, so people are selling crypto to buy commodities, which is insane, then that's when the catch-up trade happens. That's when everyone FOMOs gold, gets wrecked on gold because it's way overpriced. Bear in mind, if gold's going to double in price, this is the crazy thing as well that I think a lot of people are missing here. If gold, if you want to get a 2x on gold, let's say you're like, nah, this crazy internet man talking about cryptocurrency has no idea what he's talking about. He sits here every night in his pink room and his crappy microphone and thinks he knows what he's all giving it the big in here. He's full of rubbish. All right, cool. That's fine. But think of this. You would go and buy an ounce of gold right now, $5,300, okay? To get 2x on that, it needs to get to $10,600. That would be a $54 trillion market cap. I think about that. Where is $24 trillion going to come from? Pension funds, 401ks, BlackRock. I mean, $24 trillion. If you were to get that in Bitcoin, I know the original value is more expensive, but 2x on your investment in BTC, you need it to pump $1.5 trillion. You need to find $1.5 trillion. All right, cool. Well, we're at $3 trillion right now. You're not telling me that a bull market isn't going to get to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trillion. That's the point here, isn't it? And I think this is kind of where I think people are missing this number. By the way, Tesla revealed that none of their billion dollar Bitcoin was sold in Q4. Pretty bullish. Is the Pepper guy in here again? I don't think so. Tether's bought 27 tons. That's wild, isn't it? Think about that. Exactly. See, Jason knows what's up. This is the thing. That's what I was talking about yesterday in my video. People aren't seeing what that is right in front of them. The insane opportunity that is coming. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean that we can't dump to oblivion. That doesn't mean we can't go lower. It doesn't mean we can't retest 75K. All of that does not mean that that can't happen. But that is the obvious catch-up trade that I think so many people are missing. And certainly that's kind of where I sit right now, especially when you get some stuff going on and some stuff sort of playing through. So this whole market structure bill, we think is going to go through. They obviously removed the credit card stuff, which would be good news. That gets pushed through. So yeah, think about it. Think about it. Buy now, 2-bit, Fairground. I'm already stacked. I mean, the only thing I would say, and I've said this a number of times, by the way, that I'm still probably in a slight bearish short-term view, because I think we could definitely see a little bit further push down into the market. Long-term, super bullish, actually. But yeah, so I do have some stablecoin on the side, ready to put into the market. At the minute, like I've said before, just taking the opportunity to trade some of these markets. If you want to join me trading these markets, by the way, don't forget, we've got, it's actually one of the, I didn't even realize this. It is one of the most insane offers right now with Bitunix. And no other content creator has got this offer, by the way, just FYI. So if you are interested, check the link in the Discord as well as the link in the description. But this is an exclusive campaign for the 2-bit crypto community on bitunix.com. Sign up with my link. We are going to give you a 50% bonus. Go and find another content creator giving you that. None. There is none. I even looked at someone like Lark Davis, for example, 20%. What? The 2-bit crypto community get 50%. Deposit $1,000 bucks, you can get $500 back in bonuses. You're kidding me right now. It's only available till January 31st. You've only got a few days to get involved in that. Check out the link in the description. Head over there, signed up. No KYC, available all over the world. Definitely, in my opinion, one of the best exchanges to trade on right now. It's a Forex payout bet on the US government shutdown right now. If you bet that the government won't shut down, well, I said that I don't think it's going to shut down, and I'm standing by that statement as well. I'm standing by that statement. I think they are not going to shut the government down. That's my view. Now, interestingly, and we're gonna go off a little bit of a tangent here, so stick with me. Is it Greg Bovino or something like that, who is like the head of ICE, has been removed from Minneapolis, Minnesota? One of those two. Minnesota, let's call it that. So yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one because he's a big like catalyst. So he's been removed and it's kind of been quiet on that. Or certainly I haven't seen a lot about it. So, hopefully we can avoid it and that would be great. What's the catch with the 50% certain amount betting? Well, no, it's trade volume. It's trade volume, but yeah, you can check all out what's in there. But essentially, yeah, you deposit $1,000 bucks and you get a $500 bonus back. There is some restrictions to it. You do have to deposit and trade. I can't remember the exact number on it, but yeah, click on the link. Go and check it out. It's worth it. So each distribution round is limited to 100 slots. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So it's first come, first serve. So you need to make sure that you can get that bonus offer. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? Crazy. No one else got that deal. Look out for those. We'll have some more stuff as well coming up. So keep your eyes peeled on that. All right. What you bought this week? I actually haven't bought anything. I haven't bought any crypto now for, man, a month. Like, I've just got stablecoins sat there. I've traded a little bit. So I traded the Canton trade. That's available in the Discord, by the way. Link in the description. FYI, by the way, if you are totally brand new to this world and you have no idea how to do things and you want to sign up to my free Discord and jump in there with everyone, it is super simple. Look at this, right? If you are brand new, this is the screen you get. You simply follow the steps where it says type /verify. So you /verify, right? You press enter. You press enter again. And it brings you a code up here, look. And then you basically enter this code, i.e. you do /verify, or you simply copy and paste it into there, press enter, and you're verified. So many people who I'm now getting to the point where I think are just bots are not doing it. So you essentially then don't get into the Discord. So like this person here isn't in the Discord, look, because what it does is assign you a different role here. So if you're interested and you want to get involved in that, then sign up, get bullish, and crack on, because yeah, for whatever reason, people are just really struggling with it, and I don't really know why. Probably as much as I'm struggling getting this screen back up. What is going on? There we go. So if you want to get into our free Discord, remember we got some trade bots in there, we got some analysis bots in there as well, and obviously you get any trades that I took on. So we talked about the Canton trade, we talked about the Asta trade, both of which performed pretty well as well. So definitely worth it. What's your perspective to ICNT? I don't even know what that is. ICNT. We'll take a look at that in... Oh my God, it's 22. Why did that... Where's the time gone already? Okay, we'll take a look at that in just a second. Let me just close a few of these windows up. I bought some funds for my stocks and shares ISA. I used to have one of them. I don't. I use Mexi, but don't trade too often. So I was just wondering. Yeah. Whoever that is, let's see if you are capable of doing the Discord. Who's that? Marmaduke UK or Marmaduke K1. Let's see if you can do it. It's super simple. Oh, Scary, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah. Zach, yeah, so do I. So do I. Jason says, when does BTC need to close today for a bullish signal? My view is back in the trend line on this, which, by the way, we are just about there right now. So the line I'm looking for is 89,200. Let's call it that. That would give a bit of wiggle room. 89,200. Currently pricing 89,243, which I said we'd get a little bit of a move back to the upside. We now tick green for the day. This puts us back in this upward trending channel. You can then invalidate this, this dip, show some confidence, shows a definite move. So 89,200 would be where I'd be looking at to break that back in. Yeah, Canton was looking bullish when I looked at it earlier on. Yeah, 6% at 16.5 is a nice little move there. Hype, like I said, I've been watching Hype as well. Curtis says, 2-bit, the issue is short attention spans these days. If I'd short it on Bitunix if I could. Short what? Just the market in general. I mean, fair play to you. Like I said, trading is very much a skill. By the way, in the premium Discord, which you can get by being a channel member, we have a full trading guide in there, technical signals. We're actually writing, I'm actually writing another one as well, which is almost like a beginner's guide into how you trade. So if anyone is interested in that, then that'll be coming in there pretty soon as well. So yeah, we're going to build the Discord out. Like, it's starting to build a little, some cool stuff. It's just a bit quiet in the markets, isn't it? VC stuff and alpha calls are all just a little bit quiet right now because, the market's kind of where it is. So XCN, have a good afternoon. Yeah. Short people's short attention spans. Yeah, that's true. I take it getting into the Discord is like Crystal Maze. Tomorrow, Pete, it's just really not. It's super simple. I just don't understand why people can't do it. Oh, there we go. Marmaduke, well done. So that's dead easy now. So I create you as a member, delete that, and there you are. Boom, you're in. Which tells me, by the way, these other people that can't do it are either bots or like they just can't do it. So what I would say is that the people that can't do it, we just kick them out. And it protects, in my opinion, the Discord. Now, only you guys will tell me whether there's loads of weird like messages in there, but I don't think it is. Lucas says, that's me and I'm in. Let's go. You see, it's dead simple, Lucas, isn't it? Yes. Get in there, Lucas. Welcome to the Discord, by the way. Welcome to the Discord. I take it get into... Oh, I said that, didn't I? The only thing we probably need to get in the Discord is a little bit more chattiness. That's the only thing I'd like to see. People giving their view. We're over 200 members in there right now. It is a bit quiet in there sometimes, but I guess the point here is the point. You can put a comment in there saying, hey, guys, what do you think of this? And someone will answer it, which is good. RW says, I'm not a bot. Promise. I know you're not RW. You're all good, mate. Yeah, look at this. BTC right now, 89,347. I said that it would rise. I thought we would see a move back end. That W pattern that we talk about, that's kind of good news. All right, good. Okay, so that's what we've got. Where have we got? What else have we got coming this week? Thursday. We don't have a lot coming tomorrow. It's a pretty quiet day, by the way. Friday, PPI. Boom, boom, boom. Could be another indication of where the economy is. Could be a little bit of a spike to the markets. Core PPI expectations, by the way, is 0.1. So a little bit of an uptick. Again, not going to be super crazy, but yeah, we'll see. We will see where we get to on that. Hopefully that's going to give us a bit more of a bullish sentiment. You also get next week, which is where I believe we're going to see a pretty strong move, is the first, February the 2nd, by the way, ISM and PMI. If that ticks up, we might be on the move. That would tell us that the markets are expanding in manufacturing. Historically tells us that the ISM, as well as that move. It'd be interesting what Raoul Powell's view. His view was by the end of January, he should be able to say whether this market's going to rally or not. So I'd be curious to know what his view is. Friday will be a lot about government shutdown. Yes. Yeah. What are the odds right now on Polymarket for that? 70-odd%, did someone say? US government shutdown, 73%. So it's definitely in a decline, I think. This was 80% at the start of the week. So, I mean, it's not in much of a decline, but it is a decline. So 73% chance that the government shuts down. This was 80% when we started streaming at the start of the week. So, you know, you could argue that it looks like it is going to tick down, and hopefully then we don't get this government shutdown. Hopefully we don't. That's kind of where I'm at. Tick the boxes that contain traffic lights to prove you're not a robot. It doesn't do that in the Discord though, does it? I thought it's a really simple like /verify. Just means you have to type on your keyboard. At least you've done a live demonstration now. That's true. You know, I've tried my very best. So good. Buy gold. Fairground. No, gold. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, 5386 is absolutely wild. I'm telling you, this bubble's gonna freaking burst. It's going to be worse than the AI bubble, everybody. It's going to be the worst. It's going to be the worst than the AI bubble. Oh, man. It is crazy, if you ask me. It is crazy. But, hey, the silver futures market looks insane. I wonder what the Asian markets looks like. I bought Bitcoin. I bought altcoin Sonic and GRT, XRP. I'm down 80%. I don't know about Sonic. GRT. Have you asked me about that before? Did we look at that before? I feel like that's something we looked at. I feel like I was in a place of no. XRP, I think you'll be fine, by the way, depending on what price you bought it at. But I think XRP is one that you'll be okay at. I wonder if MSCI is good to take a long on. I mean, maybe. Yeah, graph. Did we look at this? I feel like we did look at this, in fairness. And I mean, it's been like that since... Yeah, we definitely looked at this. This is a horrible chart. I don't mean to rub it in, by the way, but yeah, it's a horrible chart. Is there a technical top for gold before a possible drop? Well, it's way overextended. So the answer is yes, in theory, because it's hugely overextended if you think about it. So if you take this Fibonacci as an example, it broke the 2618 Fibonacci, which is freaking insane. Like, this is how crazy this move is. Maybe people go, well, it's going to hit the 3618 Fibonacci at 5,680. Maybe. I bought the graph at 20 cents. All right, okay, well. Oh, okay, yeah, it's at 3 cents now. All right, yeah, that's not great. I think XRP will be fine, but, well, I can't obviously give you financial advice, but I think you'll be okay with XRP longer term. You know, there's certainly more to XRP than just a buy and hold with a lot of stuff coming. Sorry, so is the Clarity app being kicked down? Nope, they vote on it tomorrow. Remember, there's 2 Clarity acts going through. The same Clarity app, but through 2 government bodies. But tomorrow they put the vote on there. Ondo, I think, is a good shout, and I think it's undervalued as well. Again, 200 assets now onboarded onto their network. It's good news. But yeah, the gold trade is insane right now. So 2618 Fibonacci, massively overextended. Look at the RSI number down here, and the MACD is wild. I mean, is it going to keep moving? It kind of feels like it's going to at the minute. Whenever you've got risk, then you know, I definitely think we're going to see this, you know, this kind of push further to the upside. Do we see a $6,000 gold? Maybe. But yeah, I mean, you'd argue right now that gold, in my opinion, is overbought. The technicals are telling us gold is overbought. This is an irrational FOMO on gold. you got to think about, when gold was down here, by the way, this is when we were going, banks are buying more gold than we've ever seen before. They're stacking gold like the crazy people. China's buying more gold than we've seen. Everyone was buying gold down here. Now, what do you see right now? You just see this weird gold FOMO of like everyone's buying gold. It's like the big thing. Buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. It's been fueled as well by Tether buying $1 billion and, the banks coming out. But then at the same time, there is this subtle change that I think a lot of people are missing. So, for example, you look at Morgan Stanley, they just appointed a digital asset director who was the director of emerging markets. All right, cool. You've seen BlackRock. We're going to launch a new Bitcoin ETF that's got options trading on it to generate revenue. Okay, why are you doing that? If gold's the trade, gold's not the trade. You've missed the gold trade. Now, I'm not saying you can't move it, but think about it. Like, even if gold goes to 3618, it's an extra $500. Yeah, it's a big move. I mean, you think about this. You're going to put $5,500 into gold to get 6,000 back. This is an insane trade. It's an insane trade with every technical telling you that it's so overcooked right now that it's freaking wild. It's absolutely wild. And let's look at the futures market for tomorrow, by the way. Look at this. Gold, 5%. Silver, 10%. Natural gas, 3%. Oil up. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy talk. You all missed the gold trade. Exactly. 100%. That's why I am not. There's no way on this planet I'm buying gold. No freaking way. Oz didn't. Yeah, I imagine some of you guys definitely didn't miss this. Knowing what I know about you lot, some of you are well into gold at like 2,500, I'm sure. But yeah, not something that's going on with me. Sid, what's going on, buddy? Or Saeed, what's going on, pal? Welcome in. So yeah, the other thing to think about, and I would just, Zach, just on a couple of your comments, really interesting. You just go and research or go and get a view of what people think where the bear market is. Loads of people believe that we're already like well into the bear market right now, which is kind of crazy, but the sentiment of the bear market is definitely here. So yeah, Fartcoin gas fees are crazy. Hey, Curtis. The S&P crossed 7,000 early. Yeah, the S&P futures look insane as well. It's wild. Jay, good to see you, man. Welcome in as always. Appreciate you, buddy. I had what's that? I thought I was got what? Oh, nice. Got 13K. Wow. Nice. And that will have been don't forget, if you go to like a gold shop or whatever it is, they're going to underprice it a little bit as well. What happened to Bitcoin being digital gold? I mean, do you remember they actually forked Bitcoin into something called Bitcoin Gold? I mean, that's even wilder, isn't it? Johnny says, my gold is now worth nearly 30K and I spent about 4K of it over the last 7 years or so. Nice. Tim, look at my last two comments. Fours, the big guys keep trying to sell off on silver to get the trend that way, but it doesn't last. It comes back harder. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And as far as silver, if you check in London, there is 133 million ounces of silver short. Yeah, it's all in the US, isn't it? What's it called? It's like the it begins with C. I can't think what it was now. Like, it's not Cantor, or is it Cantor? Is it Cantor? Contour silver, which is in the US, right? I think it's with all these tariffs and stuff. Is it Contour silver or something? I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, there was loads of silver kept in. Comex, that's it. Comex. I knew it was something. I couldn't remember what it was. That's been held in the US. Interesting. Now, obviously, from a UK perspective, Keir Starmer, our illustrious Prime Minister, is in China, which is even crazier, actually. I can't believe he's there. Maybe they're going to strike some sort of deal, or as they're now trying to do, ban Steam, which is, I just give up with this country sometimes. It's wild. Gold and silver guys are like crypto guys who take screenshots and don't take profit. Yeah, that's the point, because you've got bank rotations happening. Corporate companies and hedge funds not necessarily rotating, but they're not buying like you've got crazy people. Remember, Tether can buy irrespective of the price of gold because it will just hedge against Bitcoin and everything else. Don't forget, at the same time, they are also buying Bitcoin and printing USDT as well, which is interesting. So I've got Ondo also, but I bought 75. Yeah, I mean, I'm underwater on my Ondo bag. But again, when it comes to something like Ondo, just my view on Ondo, by the way, which is why I haven't sold it. A, I'm underwater on it, but B, they've just onboarded 200 equity markets, 200 treasury companies, all that kind of stuff. Like, if they put the US equity markets on chain, which is exactly where they will want to go, Ondo is going to be the one they'll use. It's already integrated with banks. It's already integrated with, specific chains that are supporting it. It's built on Ethereum. Like, yeah, Ondo, I think, is, again, one of those. It's a little bit like the Bitcoin trade. My opinion is that they could be. The debate, like, I don't even know what your name would be, but I'm going to say Crown Prince, whatever it is. That DCAing is probably a interesting topic right now. Is it worth buying the brand new shiny coin, or is it worth trying to make some moves on the plays you've already got? Because remember, if you bought at 80 and you're at 34, you could bring your DCA price down. I'm not telling you to do this, by the way. This is just my view. That you could be in a world where you bring that average price down. That's always the challenge. Equally, you gotta have the money to do it. And sometimes, and I've been in this place, by the way, so I totally resonate with it. You're kind of a bit like, I don't want to put any more money in this because I am underwater. I'm looking at my portfolio thinking, like, where did this go wrong? Like, man, why didn't I sell at $125,000 when 2bit was like, hey, the bull market's in? Oh, I wasn't. I was 2 weeks out, by the way. But yeah, sometimes you just got to do what you think's right. Like I said, I went into stable coin at 108 for about 50% of my portfolio. So I've still got these kind of fringe bags, Jasmine, Ondo, Pepe, a couple of others. Equally, though, I've got, stable coin that I can use if I need to. Who's doing some weird stuff in the Discord? Who's typing? Oh, you guys. Who's typing some charts up? Look at this. Look at this. Getting the charts in. The rug analyzer. Who's using that? Ah, I like it. One of the people that got gifted a membership. They've got access to the premium Discord. They're taking every opportunity to get in there. Nice. I like it. The rug check. Bow. There you go. You see, that's what you get. Is it worth $6 a month? Of course it is. In my opinion. In my opinion, by the way. All right. People think I double down so it doesn't need to go up much for me to break it. That's the way to do it. No one expected a dump to present entire European countries. Incoming US bonds drop. That's true. That's true. The bond market in the US is coming down. Now, one of the big ones that I'm currently kind of looking deep into is the Japanese yen and that carry trade, which again could be 2 trillion, could be 20 trillion. Like who the hell knows at the minute? But yeah, that's one thing on my mind. Is I think a topic that needs discussing. But look at US bonds. The Japanese yen came down, but the bond market was reasonably flat today. That's good. People aren't buying them. That's what you want. Don't buy US bonds. Buy Bitcoin. OPF Norfolk says worth every penny. $6 a month. Like, you're kidding me right now. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Thanks, Tim. Foz, there you go. Welcome. A gifted membership from Tim. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Foz, are you in the Discord? If you are, I'll put you in there. Remember, we got 2 bots in there. You take all your DeFi plays, chart analysis, hot coins you want to look at. It's wild. The Discord's so undervalued right now, I think. It should be like a $50 a month, thing. But yeah, if you are, Foz, if you are in the Discord, let me know what your name is, and I will give you that monthly access to the premium Discord, bro. Welcome. And thanks, Tim, for the gifted. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it, Mr. Tim. You absolute hero. I don't see you, Foz, but again, it could be because you're a different name. What's your thoughts on Velo? As in not Velodrome Finance. Is this the one that they rugged? What's the one that they rugged? Well, they didn't rug it. Is it this one? Is it Velo, yeah? $102 million markup. Is this the one that they screwed over? I can't remember. No. In my opinion of Velo, terrible. Terrible. Look at the chart. The chart's an absolute shambles. $50 a month, bloody hell, 2bit, who you think you are. Mate, some of them are. Some of them are like $300 a month. It's insane. $6. Anyway, be a key to charge 60 if you're as good as... Well, that's true as well. That's true as well. Not a rug. Which one was it? Was it Velodrome Finance that did it? The chart looks awful on Velo, by the way. Awful. That doesn't mean that you can't make a play on it, but yeah, I don't think this is anything I would go in. OPF said, I'll pay $50 a month if you supply a QR code that I can scan and you promise to send me a double back. Yeah. That's not going to work out like that, but maybe I should be like that. Get access to it with a coupon code. We're getting good income from USDT staking on Coinbase. Anyone know an exchange that gives interest on USDT? Mexi give 15% if you can use that. I think Bitunix do as well, which I do have a link for Bitunix, which is here. I think they do. Might be worth checking out. Coinbase do 5% on USDC, don't they? Yeah. Really? Wow. I've never paid for. I've never paid to get in a group. I'd love to see what they have in them. Some of them are insane. Some of them are absolutely insane. Even channel memberships on some accounts are Crazy what people charge. Crazy. Larry, 15% sounds good. It was on an exchange. I mean, I have some USDT staked on MEXC right now, and it's fine. It's fine. What do I think of Tron? I think it's a grinder coin that just keeps going up. It's got loads of use case. I think it's got a bad name. Is it going to go parabolic? Probably not. Is it going to be? I think it's more of a utility coin, really. Now, doesn't mean that it can't move. And actually, its fundamentals are pretty good. Like, their balance sheet is very strong in terms of their actual number. But my exact point here, look, this is the weekly chart. You look at Tron, it's just a grinder coin. It'll just grind its way up. So, you know, if you want to buy, hold, I think they've got loads of little staking things on their platform. Their ecosystem is pretty good, in fairness. Is it going to go insane? Nah, probably not. What's it at right now? $27.85 billion market cap. So again, if you're buying it and it's 29 cents, to get to 50 cents, or well, 60 cents, you're talking a $54 billion market cap. Like, where's $27 billion going to come from to go into Tron? That's the challenge you've got. Yeah, honestly, it depends. If you're in the UK, then it's a bit more of a challenge. But yeah, the MEXC one is fine. And I think Bitunix have it as well. Check it out. What do you think of BTC? I don't know what you mean. What do I think of it? Bullish on Bitcoin. I don't own a lot of Bitcoin, in fairness. I'm way more into altcoins. I'm way more into coins that can make things work. But yeah, I'm not in any, but there's never anything good that in them. I jump in the free ones. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Are US bonds going to Canton? I mean, there's a debate that they may do. Don't forget, Canton has a privacy element to it. I don't know the ins and outs of the Canton network. I probably should research it a little bit more, actually. So how it works, like Monero and Zcash. Let's have a look. Let's do it. Let's just take a look at what's Canton. Let's have a look and see what Canton's all about. We did look at it briefly before. So capital markets, yeah, DTCC, Digital Asset Partners, tokenized DTC custody US Treasuries on the Canton network. So that's a pretty bullish statement. DTCC. So 24/7 capital markets value beyond OPEX, flipping the script and token. Okay, that's fine. None of that's really good. DTCC is the Depository and Trust Clearing Corporation, digital asset partner in US Treasuries on the Canton network. So definitely some of it coming on there. January 12, privacy will unlock the next era of institutional scale. So what is the... Let's take a look here. I haven't really looked at the white paper. Canton Coin, the Mika white paper. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. I'm curious as to how the privacy element works. Okay, let's see if we can see it on here. Summary, part 1. Legal forms, legal entity. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. With subscription. Information, just doing kind of crypto assets. Okay, there's just all sorts of nonsense here. 22, utility token classification, key features, goods and services of utility tokens. Oh, here we go. That's what we want. Information on underlying technology. Is that just going to be distributed ledger that's literally just all about cryptocurrency as in general? Let's go to page 22. 22, here we go. Canton Coin provides an optimal network native mechanism to pay for network use. For example, a super validator is operating the global synchronizer, allows the creation of transaction traffic balances across global synchronizers using Canton Coin. Canton Coin also provides optional network native payment mechanisms for applicational use. Transferability and trading. Holders have the ability to transfer their Canton tokens to others on-chain or to trade them available markets. Ownership of Canton Coin carries the aforementioned access rights. When the token is transferred, those rights pass to the new holder. Okay, fine. All actions taken by super validators operating the global synchronizer. This obviously feels like that's their whatever that is. We'll take a look at the global synchronizer. And Canton Coin application configures and transactions are subject to a 2/3 majority action of all super validators, includes the parameters described in the paper, including the set of an active super validator, the mining curve, and the right split fees and protocol improvements. All right. Applicable law, protocols, and technicals. So, several smart contract blockchain networks exist. Blah, 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 limitations of existing. Canton Network. Okay. So Canton Network is a network of networks for smart contract applications with heterogeneity. What the hell is that? And scalability properties similar to the internet, giving application providers control over their applications. Like existing blockchain networks, Canton Network provides real-time synchronization of sensitive data across participants. It has the privacy of a private blockchain. That's what I want to know, though. I want to know that privacy bit. The Canton Network's excessive smart contract language called DAMI, which is a programmable privacy. Oh, here we go. Privacy built in every asset of piece of data. The Canton protocol allows each application to scale independently, increasing availability. All right, cool. So DAMI is an open source smart contract language and framework designed to make it easy to develop, operate, and maintain multi-party applications in a way that prefers privacy and data consistency. More coarsely, DAMI provides concepts to capture rules. DAMI allows specific access and authorization policies within a smart contract code, making it easy for them to keep in sync. Data is confidential by default. Okay, so this is a little bit how Monero runs. And access policies are easily defined so the smart contract program can understand and maintain them effortlessly. So how Monero works, just as a side note here, Monero is as a chain is hidden. So if you transact on Monero, it's basically like a ghost transaction goes through. So I mean, you could technically, because you would say, well, if I transfer $100 from this wallet to $100 to a different wallet, it's relatively easy, it's straightforward to follow that transaction. But by default, Zcash is slightly different. Zcash is the wallet and the transaction are where it's the privacy. That's important. So yeah, so transaction. So a contract is created as part of a transaction, making the contract active. A subsequent transaction may archive the contract, rendering it archived. To ensure consistency among network participants while maintaining each contract privacy, we need transactions to inhibit two properties. First, we need the mechanism by which the different parties agree. So yes, I want to do it. Second, that they'll be entitled to see distinct parts of the transaction based on privacy definitions of the specific contract. We call this sub-transaction privacy. Oh my God, this is like, it's hard for the end of the stream. This is blowing my mind a little bit. Transaction must enable parties to have a partial view of the transactions which they can verify, also known as the sub-transaction. So this will be value on it. The model is similar to the UTXO transaction model used in Bitcoin and other public blockchains, with two notable differences. No party sees the full transaction graph of the entire network. Instead, each party sees a subset of the graph, also known as a party's view, and a transaction does not always archive referenced contracts. Whether a transaction archives an input UTXO or not depends on the application logic and is defined in the DAMI using the keywords consuming or non-consuming. So essentially, you might say, yes, there was a transaction that took place, but you can't see what that transaction was between. Kind of interesting, really. Which is why I think it's probably going to be used as a potential at an institutional level. They will never use Monero. Monero is super old school technology. So I think Canton have tried to jump on the privacy narrative and maybe try and get that done. My 1 ounce of silver is $93. It's going to make me rich. I mean, you never know, Joe. Canton looks sketchy, new, equals untested. That's true. That's true. I mean, I don't know what is the network running right now? Connect and build. So they got 6 trillion plus on chain, 4 trillion a month repos, 300 billion daily repos, 600 validators, 30 super validators. Apparently, I mean, they've got a lot on there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of tokenized assets on there. There's quite a bit on that Canton network. Although I think it's new, I don't think it's new. I think they've been in test net for quite a while, in fairness. But like I said, you know, these are things you got to look at whether you want to, you know, invest in a coin or not. You just have to be really clear on why you're investing. But I mean, it does tick a lot of boxes versus where you've got Monero and Zcash. We all know why Monero ran, by the way. This is what I think will happen with gold, by the way, just FYI. People might think I'm crazy, but yeah. Been in talks with them ourselves. What's that? Rox, I'm hearing a lot of institutions are jumping on Canton. Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about it, in fairness. I mean, we traded it when it came out. It was actually a pretty good trade, in fairness. We posted it in the Discord, by the way, link in the bio. Yeah, Rox Crypto. Hey, cool if you're getting involved with Canton. Like I said, I like it. Powell does not have a Patreon. Can you imagine? Stands on the stage. My colleagues and I just want to announce that we're keeping the federal funds rate flat. But if you want to get into the Patreon, get over to jpow.com. His new sideline as he comes out of the Federal Reserve. J Powell's going all in on markets. I'd love that. I'd actually love that. And he'd come out to, you know, like the really weird, like trending coin. Boop, 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 J Powell. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, I would definitely. That's probably the only if that was a Patreon, I'd join it. If that was J Powell's Patreon, I'd be in. I'd be in. Canton's deaf getting attention. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it is. Again, though, it's volatile in terms of its charts, so I think it's, you know, sensible to kind of keep an eye out for it. Again, we saw Monad come back as well. Now, it's given up a little bit of its gain, but guess where it is? 20-day EMA, obviously, the most important EMA line in the world right now. It seems to be where everything bounces off. You know, it's a nice move on Monad as this ecosystem builds out, as things start to get a little bit more exciting. Like, Monad had a nice little move. Still way below value, and again, this is where we talk about, you know, 120% down from all-time highs. The undervalued trade is not gold or silver. It's definitely in, definitely in the crypto asset market, in my opinion. Fire demo, I'd love to show you the forward AI curves are building out BTC in the bit. Yeah, cool, man. I'll take a look at it when finished. Linear, yeah, we touched on Linear a while back. It's all a bit quiet, isn't it? I mean, it had its moment. Everyone was going crazy. It had a big airdrop, and it's all been dead quiet right now. I mean, that's the thought I don't want to have, Joe, if I'm on it. What's Linear at right now? Oh, this can't be right. Linear Finance. No, that's not right. Linear. There it is. Where is it down? No, it's down 4%. So, I mean, 95 million. Is that what it is? Yeah. So this is, I mean, Linear looks terrible right now. I mean, the tech is pretty good. The tech is pretty good. But this is the problem, though. If you don't come out and you sustain a reasonable price range, then you end up just getting wrecked. You just end up getting wrecked on it. Linear is probably one that, I mean, look at the minute. If you just bought that as a hold, problem with big airdrops. Thanks, Stupid, for all you do, bro. God bless the chat. Hey, thank you so much, Ricky. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, guys, I do genuinely appreciate the comments. All I ever ask, hit the like button. Do share the streams out. Let people know that this exists. I really want to make 2026 the move of my life, i.e., I do, just to give anyone context, by the way, because quite a few new people here on TikTok, so shout out to you guys. Quite a few new people here on YouTube as well. I have a full 9-to-5 job that I do as well. So I literally do a full 9-to-5, quite intensive management job at the same time. So I look after about 16 direct reports and responsible for 400 people underneath that as well. So this was a hobby that I want to turn into something else. So again, if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, become a channel member, all that good stuff, does help in the long run. Equally, I really want to make sure this channel offers value back rather than just, you know, where I think a lot of channels are, which is they don't really offer a lot of value. So we're learning. I want to put some people through financial analysis course in the, you know, in the bear market or when the channel gets bigger. You know, I think a lot of people will know me. Over the course of this duration of this channel, we've given away best part of what, 20 grand, 25 grand, something crazy like that on this channel. Put people through technical analysis courses, all sorts of stuff. Can gold continue at 6,500? Sure, it can, but by definition of, yeah, 100%. Yeah, gold is, I mean, I said this in my video this morning. The commodities market, particularly gold, silver, the only one that might be worth a look at if you think there's more mileage in the commodities market would be copper. Data centers are booming, AI's booming, $100 billion been raised by ChatGPT. SoftBank or Soft Summit Bank looking to raise $30 billion to invest in OpenAI. Do you know they value that? By the way, it's not IPO'd yet, but ChatGPT, OpenAI, they value their company at $85 billion. It's fucking ludicrous. Ludicrous. Yeah, $85 billion. Yeah, see, Unrusted, I think that could be one. Yeah, so again, by the way, if you're interested, come over there. But yeah, this one here, Crisis, Bitcoin's biggest catch-up trade just activated. Take a look at it, all right? Definitely worth it. As well as all the other videos we put out here and try and keep you guys absolutely up to date with what's going on in the markets. You can see we're putting content out every single day, brand new videos, all sorts of cool stuff. So highly recommend going and checking them out and yeah, getting a vibe and seeing what's going on. Highly worth it. It's supports the channel and all that good stuff as well. So good. All right, what time is it? Man, 10:15. We'll be getting out of here in just a minute. So if you haven't already, by the way, hit the follow button and hit that subscribe button. That way you know we go live every single day. Make sure your notification bell is turned to all. That way you get notified, or turn everyone else's off and just have this one notified as all. Best ever. Thank you for the like, man. Appreciate it. Tinfoil hats worth investing in. They are if you come to this channel, in my opinion anyway. Who keeps typing in the Discord? It keeps beeping. I probably need to turn that down. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. You can call Gary Gensler. Where is he anyway? Has anyone spoke to him? I haven't spoke to him for a while. Old Gaza G. I don't know what he's up to nowadays. Chilling out. Man, BTC just had a big sell-off. Well, not a big sell-off. 89.1. It needs to kind of keep going. Don't sell off. I mean, it always does sell off about this sort of time, but yeah. Anyway, such is life. Such is life, everybody. Anyway, right. What time are we? We're 10:15. That does bring us to the end of the stream. We've been live an hour and 15 minutes here. Again, hopefully we can start to increase that. And if this became a 9-to-5 job, then you better believe it. Be doing 2 streams a day as well as Discord live and all of that good stuff. But for now, I have stuff to do and I obviously have to be up tomorrow. But yeah, where do we summarize tonight's live stream then? FOMC was okay. I think it's fair to say. Some really bullish statements in there. A little bit non-descriptive. Non-committal is probably a good idea as well to say. But on the whole, FOMC was all right. Interest rates are flat. And Bitcoin, well, 89,185 at the time of finishing the stream out. Hopefully we get back above 89.2. A nice close, 89.5, 89.6 would be bullish. 90 would be even better. If we can get to that, good news. As always, though, don't forget, I'm going to be back tomorrow night. Look out for my update video going live tomorrow morning. Again, that's going to give you some insight into the markets, all on YouTube. So until then, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.